Hey everybody, it's Boardman21 and today's build is going to be the Lich ward generating using Soul Feast build. We're going to be wearing the Plague Staff Bear, and a lot of your damage is going to come from both hitting your targets with Soul Feast and from your Wandering Spirits doing their hits of poison as well, which will stack with yours, and it'll be a massive damage over time build. On top of that, using Soul Feast and Mark of Death, you're going to generate massive amounts of ward. The more enemies, the more ward. With that in mind, it means the least amount of enemies, which would be 4 bosses on one arena wave, is where you're going to struggle. This build, although probably not using these 5 skills, is currently the rank 1 build by Lizard. We pushed it today. We managed to get top 5. I think we got 600 and something waves, and it can totally just keep going forever as long as you don't teleport into the wrong pack or get hit by, the wrong missile. As long as you keep paying attention and dodge everything, you'll be fine. That being said, to make this build, you are going to need a lot of dodge affixes. You're going to need set dodge, Rhaegor dodge. Basically, that's what you're going for. You want a very high dodge amount. With that, let's go ahead and get into the skills. Skills, we're going to be running Rip Blood, Soul Feast, Wandering Spirits, Mark for Death, and Transplant. For Rip of Blood, we're using this just as an extra ward generator whenever we transplant. We have 2 points in Arcane Absorption, 1 point in Rip Spirit, 1 point in Arcane Fortress, 1 point in Evacerate, 4 points in Splatter, 1 point in Hemomancer, 6 points in Quenching, 3 points in Mana Feast, and 1 point in Hematology. For Soul Feast, we got 4 points in Soul Seeker, 4 points in Soul Bastion, 2 points in Rest, 1 in Usurp, 4 points in Hunger, 1 point in Damned. And with this, you're going to be using it to apply stacks of Dam while getting as much possible ward as you can get, and that's why we have both the 4 points in Soul Bastion and the 2 points on Rest. We did not put the 1 point in chance for double ward, but we did put 4 points into Celerity for that 20% chance of gaining haste when we receive our soul fragments, and with that, it's very nice to outrun mobs, especially solo mobs when you're going up against the bosses, just to hit them a couple times and have that chance to be able to run faster, especially when you need to get away. With that, we also went into the cast speed and mana efficiency. We're cooking at only a 17 mana cost, and we didn't take any of the southern odds. We're not doing the recast, it's just 2 mana expensive, plus we didn't want the points to reduce the ward that's granted. For Wandering Spirits, we're just using this to summon as many as possible, and for them to apply the poison. We have 2 points in Souls of Rage, 1 point in Spectral Putrescence, 3 points in Soul of Filth, 2 points in Spectral Scorn, 3 points in Lingering Souls, 3 points in Spirit Swarm, 1 point in Infectious Dead, and 5 points in Thin Veil. For Mark of Death, we have 6 points in Lingering Curse for as much duration as possible, 3 points in Flow of Anger, 5 points in Long Gaze, 1 point in Icy Manipulation, 4 points in Imposing Will, and most importantly, 1 point in Terra. And the reason I say most importantly is if you've used Mark of Death, you know that fearing your enemies is very nice for breaking up large groups. Also, once you hit them, they run away. It gives you a chance to cast Soul Feast a couple of times, and voila, you have lots of ward. Also, they'll have taken quite a bit of damage by that point, and sometimes you won't even have to worry about them coming back to hit you. For Transplant, we're using this for mana gain back, a little bit of protection, movement, and for 3 casts of Rip Blood so that we get a little bit of ward. With that, we have 1 point in Acolyte's Fervor, 3 points in Dance of Blood, 2 points in Sadism, 3 points in Pale Blood, 3 points in Bone Armor, 2 points in Plated Bone, 1 point in Simulacrum, 1 point in Purgatory, and 3 points in Ivory Court. For passives, we have, in the Acolyte base class, 8 points in Forbidden Knowledge, 7 points in Blood Aura, 5 points in Blood Pact. We have 0 points in Necromancer, and for Lich, we have 95 points. We have 8 points in Crippling Insight, 5 points in Survival of the Cruel, 8 points in Dance with Death, 3 points in Wrathbringer, 1 point in Soul Barrier, 8 points in Desolation, 8 points in Lasting Stench, 8 points in Apocrypha, 8 points in Unclosing Wounds, 4 points in Mental Cacophony, 8 points in Ageless Ascetic, 5 points in Soul Mal, and 10 points in both Decaying Form and Mind over Body. For items, the idols that we are running, we have the increased damage over time while at low health with some ward retention. That's our 2x2s. And for the bottom, we have increased recovery cooldown with Transplant. That's all we were going for. The increased damage while transformed doesn't apply to us. We are running 3 uniques. We have the Plague Bearer's Staff. We have Exanguius. Those 2 are pretty much required. We also have the Bone Clamor Barbette, which for us had 3 statuses we really wanted. We wanted the Dex for dodge, the Int for ward retention and for some damage, and the 25 ward a second is just an added bonus. You don't have to wear this, but we do like to have it. For the jewelry set, the amulet, the rings, and the relic, we went with the increased dodge rating set, dodge rating held, and dodge rating flat. If you could get it on the rings, we went with damage over time, and on the second one, we went with dexterity. And for the amulet, we needed some more glancing blow. We did that with dodge rating, some more mana. We got armor. Would have rather have health in that spot, but we couldn't get it. On our 3 other pieces, we have increased dodge rating, glancing blow, some more glancing blow with dodge and health, and then on our gloves we have int, glancing blow, health, and dodge. You can see we only had 76% dodge in our run. If you were to tap those 4 out with T5, you would have 100%. We did have 73% dodge, and our ward retention sat at 365%. Between all of our passives, the idols, and the gear, we're sitting at 859% damage over time, which is really good and going to help you clear the waves really fast. With that, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys some gameplay.